Okay, Mr. Bishop, the court is back in session and call number 332002. It's the style of the state of Texas versus Shakar Bishop. Shakar Bishop was previously sworn in. His attorney, Mr. Job Cole, has waived the record in Mr. Bishop's case. And Mr. Bishop, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This document was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And this information alleges that on or about January 18th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of interfering with public duties. Mr. Bishop, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, Mr. Bishop, how do you plead? Guilty? You pleading guilty? Now you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Bishop, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of Hold on a minute. Now, Mr. Cole, I'm looking at this motion. Well, it's misdemeanor plea admonishment. You have the box that's checked as a Class A misdemeanor. This is a Class B misdemeanor. Do I have your permission to make this correction?
Yes, you do, Your Honor. My apologies.
Now, Mr. Bishop, you're charged with a Class B misdemeanor, and the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor is confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 180 days, a fine not to exceed $2,000, or both such fine and confinement. That's the range of punishment for all Class B misdemeanors. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so this is not a Class A misdemeanor. Class A misdemeanor would have had a higher punishment range. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now do I have your permission to make that correction to be a Class B misdemeanor instead of a Class A?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Bishop, okay, on page 2 of this document, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, there are a set of initials, SB, that's on the line that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document, Mr. Bishop, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Bishop, the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. At the bottom of this document, there is also a signature. And did you also sign this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
At the top of this same document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that is checked states that this is a plea bargain case. You have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Bishop, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
I'm signing it right now, Your Honor.
Okay. Make sure you read what you sign, Mr. Bishop.
Okay.
Okay, now, Mr. Bishop, you signed the document that is titled Discovery Certification. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Bishop, before you signed an initial, all of these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And now, did you read and understand everything in all of these documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bishop, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, I have before me state's exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer states 1?
Yes, your state offer states 1.
Any
No
objections?
objections.
No objection. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Cole, you advise and counsel Mr. Bishop, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bishop, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bishop, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea in this case, the state's recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 30 days. And we're also asking that the court give the defendant credit for any time that he's entitled to by law.
Mr. Bishop, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You will be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case is $287. Mr. Bishop, will you be able to pay the $287 court cost?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Bishop, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bishop, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Bishop, this will conclude your case. Please knock on the door and follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
Give me the pen.